So Nick Richmond, I believe you should always be recruiting. Always be on the lookout for quality talent. You never know when a top performing salesperson is gonna leave his respective profession, doesn't have to be in this industry, and decide that he wants to be on the lookout for his next career. We strongly feel that you should always have ads put out there on your ZipRecruiters and your LinkedIns and your Indeeds with strong calls to action. Now, I've been talking with some people on the mastermind sessions, and they've been wondering why they weren't getting much traction on the recruiting ads. Who in the room has a salesperson that makes over $200,000 a year on their team right now? Salespeople. How about $150,000? Nick Richmond has a salesperson on his team that's pacing over $600,000 in income. At Mad City, the sales team that I train, I know for a fact there's salespeople selling windows, baths, and kitchen refacing that are gonna pace about $600,000 in annual income. So now, if one company is advertising that this rare opportunity sales job, you can make 150 to 200K plus, and another company is advertising 70,000, hypothetically, right? Which job is that sales rep more than likely to inquire on? If you're a top performer, how excited are they gonna get over like a $70,000 income? So I just wanted to give you, and we have examples of this stuff, all right? So this is actually what I inquired on when I first started working. We had this call to action, it said a rare opportunity. Now, how many people put the phone number of your company in the ad? The phone number that they can call to contact you in the ad. Put the phone number of your company in the ad. If you got a tenacious closer, somebody that's really good at selling himself, what should you give him the opportunity to do? Call you and start closing the hell out of you, right? So make it easy for them. Don't make it so difficult for them to contact you, right? But look at the income range here. 125, 275K a year plus, right? So those sales pros that were on the team, this is realistic expectations. I had people in their first year that made almost 400,000. So I want you to think about this. Where can you make 70 grand a year these days? McDonald's. Hold on, closers. Are you ready to stop losing deals to the same tired old objections? At Gross University, we've created this free closers guide just for you, which is a proven step-by-step framework to overcome any objection in the home improvement industry. This is the exact system used by top producers in the game, closing at over 70% plus, including record-breaking selling streaks such as 40 sales in a row. Inside, you'll learn how to get to the true emotional root origin of every objection, crush resistance with confidence, and close like an absolute professional. The best part is, this framework will teach you how to become a tenacious one-call closer without building any pressure whatsoever. Don't leave money on the table. Download your free closer's guide now and start turning objections into opportunities. As always at Gross University, yes, you are a closer, and back to the video. So if I'm a tenacious closer, a real like high-level performer, I'm not even gonna waste time, right? Now, why do I have this income range? Here's what I said, and I meant it sincerely. So we graded our people based off of NSLI or slugging. Now, who knows how to calculate NSLI? So those of you that don't, it's actually a pretty simple process. So you take a salesperson's net volume divided by issued leads. If I wrote up $150,000 in a calendar month on 50 leads, I'm gonna take $150,000 divided by 50, that's a $3,000 NSLI. So that means for every lead I gave that salesperson on a silver platter that was issued to him, on average, he's bringing in $3,000 of revenue into the business, which is an important number for you to know. Now, the benchmark that you establish for your sales professional needs to be a 10-to-1 ratio. So now what if I'm spending $400 for every lead that comes in on an average, my fully loaded marketing spend? And the sales rep's at a $3,000 NSLI, is he hitting that number? What would be a 10-to-1 ratio on a $400 average lead cost? 4,000 slugging, right? So now, what I would say to my salespeople is even if you're hitting your minimum benchmark of performance to maintain your employment here, it is impossible to make less than $150,000 a year. Now, if you're a top performer, how does that sound? Even if you're barely keeping your job here, you're gonna make over 150 grand a year. And for me, it was easy math based on the average amount of leads a sales rep got. If he only hit his minimum benchmark all year long, that was the income. However, if you're an all-star, and that's what we're really looking for, people that are not striving to hit the minimums, what should they strive for? I'm gonna crush that, right? And then I would show the results of my team. You know, most people on average are between 4,000 and 5,000 NSLI, so they're crushing this goal. And the average income potential, you're looking at anywhere from 200 to 300,000 a year. The day that you first speak to these salespeople, I hammer into their skull the day that I first start talking to them, and those of you that interview with me can attest to this. This is a multiple six-figure job. Multiple six-figure job. If you're here to make six figures, this is not the right company for you. I'm not gonna waste my time training somebody that only wants six figures. What am I looking for? Multiple six figures. So the point in all this is when you're putting your ads out there, make sure that you have a robust income and call to action to reel them in. And then when you reel in that quality sales talent, why do you think it is that a lot of people elected to take the job at Mad City? Because they believed in who? Me, right? I'm gonna take all the credit, damn it. So the whole point is make sure then you have a structured interview process and a world-class training program put together so you can retain that salesperson and obviously allow them to grow and flourish in your organization. So make sure you have those calls to actions.